All right, we continue to keep an eye on things here. Taking a look at velocity for a moment. We're going to take you back to satellite and radar. A bigger picture of this entire MCS moving through cluster of thunderstorms. You want to delay your morning commute. You are likely hearing sirens go off in Kent County and Allegan County. They will be wrapping up soon and turning off in Kent County. They are likely going in Allegan County. These are for the straight line winds, severe thunderstorm warnings. We are not seeing tornado probability yet. We are still continuing to keep an eye on this, and the National Weather Service is doing so as well with us. But we are seeing dime to quarter size hail and strong winds. This is giving us 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. So it's right at this leading edge here. That's where you're going to get the brunt of the strength through this setup. So if you have yet to leave on your morning commute, seek shelter, stay home, go to your safe location, as again, these are not tornado warning storms. We are talking straight line winds with these, but still they are aggressive winds. We are 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts here. So Allegan, Barry, Ionia, you are just starting to get a piece of this in the next half hour, 40 minutes. This will continue. These warned storm cells will continue until 8 o'clock for you. Kent County, Ottawa County, continuing until 7:15. So you have about another 15 to 20 minutes there for these warned storms. Barrie and Ionia continuing until 8 a.m. Montcalm and Mount Costa continuing until 7:30. So we are going to keep monitoring this. I want to put in some real time for you here, as this is giving us more of a southward push, south and west. This is estimated timing. Kalamazoo 7:15, Battle Creek 7:26, and it's moving fast. About 60 mile per hour is how this is moving, and it has that 60 to 70 mile per hour gust front on it with 2 to 3 inch rainfall rates an hour, hail. It's a dangerous situation. You definitely want to delay your morning commute, and we'll continue to do this and monitor this throughout the entire morning. Again, this is moving more south and east. This is giving you rough estimated timing. It's moving about 60 miles per hour as we go throughout the morning. It is that aggressive gust front that we see with that 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. Again, where you see those orange boxes, those are those severe thunderstorm warned storms. You may be hearing sirens go off for these straight line winds. Coming up though, we are going to reset and continue to keep an eye on this at the top of our 7 o'clock.
This is a Fox 17 severe weather alert.
And we start this morning with a live look out over South Haven. This is looking north at that strong storm system that has continued to slam parts of West Michigan for the last hour and a half. A lot of our viewers under severe thunderstorm watches, and that's creating potential hazards for your morning commute. We are already getting so many reports of down branches, some down power lines, trees down, trampolines blowing over. It is a serious system that we're dealing with this morning, and we want to make sure everyone knows what you're dealing with. Of course, a lot of power outages too. At one point, we were hearing over 80,000 power outages across West Michigan. So do want to get right to Candace with more on that. Candace has nonstop been keeping us informed, and we appreciate all of your coverage, Candace.
Yeah, definitely. This is the terrible timing for this to come through, as it is a part of your morning commute. So if you have not left on your morning commute yet and you haven't seen this push of this aggressive wind gust, you want to hold off. You can see this cluster, this MCS, these cluster of thunderstorms moving through. So we do have these severe thunderstorm warned storms. You can see this here in those yellow orangish boxes. A lot of them continuing to wrap up now in the next 15 minutes or till 8 a.m. It's that main cluster of lightning and wind that you'll see right at the leading edge of this. You're getting 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, and that's where most of our damage is coming through. We're also seeing dime size hail and 2 to 3 inch rainfall rates per hour. That is heavy downpours, dangerous driving situations, so do not leave on your morning commute. If you are in one of these warm storms, you want to stay home and seek shelter now. Here's a rough estimated timing. These things are moving fast. We're moving at about 60 miles per hour. So again, rough estimate on this timing. It's taking a little bit more of a southward push, and we are getting to Kalamazoo around 7:15, Battle Creek just before 7:30, Three Rivers 7:41. give or take a few minutes, and this will continue to push southward. So right along I-196 and I-96, that's where you're seeing those aggressive winds of 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gust. You may even have heard sirens going off in Kent. You're likely still hearing them go off in Allegan County. It is not tornado warned storms. We are talking straight line winds for severe thunderstorm warned storms. And it's that leading edge. It's starting to work towards Hastings and Allegan right now is where you will get that main push of wind. Anywhere you see the blue, that's where we're getting some of that hail. Penny, dime size hail is what we've been seeing. Just in general, even past these storms, it's going to be a breezy day as we are focusing our morning time frame on these storms. The yellow boxes, the orange yellow boxes, those are your severe thunderstorm warned storms. Everyone in the pink, which is all of us, we're in the severe thunderstorm watch until 9 a.m. with this slight to marginal risk. So 2 more hours, and then we're really going to start to put this behind us for the day. The beach will stay angry all day long. Small craft advisory, moderate to high beach hazard risks. We have temperatures in the 60s and 70s. See where the storm has come through? It's dropped back our temps in the 60s briefly. This is going to cut that back for a moment, and then we'll spike back up again as we head into the afternoon. But again, if you are in any of those severe thunderstorm warned storms, stay put, seek shelter, and delay your morning commute. We'll continue to monitor this throughout the morning.
And of course, we're keeping an eye on power outages this morning as this storm continues to pound parts of West Michigan. Consumers Energy reporting now more than 90,000 customers impacted at this time. As those storms continue to move more southeast, we have seen more outages popping up as well. Check this out, though. We're getting video coming in of that storm. This is hail in Byron Center.
Yeah, and this video shows the rain, heavy rain out there. This is right outside of the station here on the northeast side of town. We can hear it coming down on the ceiling, also hearing the thunder here as well.
With Fox 17 traffic, as you would expect, a lot of water on the roads. The freeways, though, are designed not to get flooded at all, but they are, of course, covered with water, and so your speeds are slower. 55 miles per hour on 131 just north of 28th Street is pretty typical, and we've got a couple of problems where northbound 31 has traffic completely blocked at around Riley Thompson Road, so everybody must exit at Russell Road, and of course you have widespread power outages now, not only in the Muskegon County area, but also just about everywhere where this storefront has moved through. And so your concerns will be mainly traffic signals being out. Treat them as four-way stops. Plus, you don't want to drive through any standing water. I'm Rob Wesley, Fox 17 Traffic.
All right, thanks, Rob. We are continuing to monitor the storm. So we are keeping up with National Weather Service as this is quite a lightning show. It is trailing lightning, as you can see, likely here this morning, and it is those severe warned storms. So if you haven't left on your morning commute, I would definitely hold off, as this is a dangerous setup, a dangerous situation here. And it's right at the leading edge of this where we see these yellow and orange boxes as they continue to meander south and east as this storm does so as well. This is where you'll find that 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gust. That's damaging wind gust. You want to seek shelter and stay safe. You have likely heard sirens go off in Kent County, and those, according to the National Weather Service, has since stopped. You are likely hearing them in Allegan County. It is not tornado warned storms. We are talking straight line winds, very high straight line winds off of these severe thunderstorm warned storms. This is also coming with those heavy downpours. We're talking 2 to 3 inch rainfall rates an hour. That is some high, heavy downpours. Definitely not safe to be working or driving through. This is rough estimated timing. This system's moving through at about 60 miles per hour, so it's coming through very fast with these high wind gusts. So Portage about 722, Marshall 736, Three Rivers 741. Again, it will keep pushing south and ever so slightly west. This is giving us a little bit more of a southward push as the morning goes on. And when we turn off the boxes and the lightning and any of those tracks, you can see kind of the bowing of this larger scale, kind of almost making a U shape here. And at the bottom of that U shape, that's where you're going to get those aggressive winds. Behind it, things will start to calm down a bit, but this is where that damage is coming from. We're getting lots of reports. I've seen reports come in of power lines down, trees down, trampolines blown. So we are continuing to see those reports come in. So also remember, when this main line comes through, watch when I turn this lightning back on. There's still lightning behind this. So if you're waking up this morning, the main line is pushed behind you and you want to go out and see it, be careful. When lightning roars, get indoors. And behind this, you can still get that trailing lightning and it can still set up to a dangerous situation. Not as bad as that main push, but still not safe to be heading out and wandering around outside. So just keep that in mind as this moves through. So you folks that are up next for this, South Haven, you will start to see this. Pullman, Allegan, you're starting to really get the brunt of that leading edge of that gust front. Globes, Martin, Delton, Hastings, Lake Odessa, you folks are seeing this as well with some hail embedded in also. We've been getting reports of pea-size hail. A lot of it went through Hudsonville earlier, Byron Center, Caledonia now. Anywhere you see this blue, that's radar indicated hail. So small pea-size hail can be seen in this as well. I want to go through these warned storms and where and timing of these going on as they're working a little bit more southward. So Montcalm, you have until 7:30, about 20 more minutes for you. Parts of Kent, Ottawa County until 7:15. Allegan, Barrie, Ionia, 8 a.m. Allegan, Barrie, Ionia, you're just starting to see this arrive on your doorstep. This will stay with you until 8 a.m. So you have about another hour because you're just getting going on this. Really, as we start to work out of our viewing area till 8:30, but roughly about the next hour, but it will only continue to keep working south if it keeps holding together. There is rough estimated timing for you. Again, this system, this cluster of thunderstorms is moving through at about 60 miles per hour. That leading edge is giving us 60 to 70 mile per hour gust front. So we are seeing that main push give us that strength, causing the power outages, the trees down, and all of our damage. I want to walk you through some other details as well as, again, it is that main push, that main cluster. Here I have our warning boxes and our lightning turned off, but this is what we're focusing on, that U-shaped bend, giving those strong straight line winds and the hail potential, the heavy downpours, and it's just going to be a breezy day overall in general. So if you are under one of these severe warned storms, you want to seek shelter and stay safe as we have this marginal and slight risk. The beach will stay angry all day long as well. Once we get past these storms this morning, things will settle down. We're in the 60s and 70s, and we're going to stay mainly dry even with some sunshine later on with 85 degrees. But we'll keep an eye on these storms throughout the rest of this morning. Janice and Elliot, though, toss it back to you to check on our power outages, I think.
All right, we do want to take a look at the power outages right now. At last check, over 90,000 people affected, and those numbers continue to grow. About 15 minutes ago, it was just over 80,000. So that just goes to show you as this storm is really continuing to move fast.
Yeah, we're also getting word of cancellations this morning. GRPS has canceled its Summer Ignite learning program.
Yep.
That is canceled today due to the weather. And then we also have Grand Haven Public Schools canceling events and activities today as well. So as we're waking up to this active storm system already having an impact on your Tuesday, we're getting reports, as we've heard from Candace, of trampolines being blown over, of the sirens going off in Kent County just because of how strong the winds are. 70 mile per hour winds, and wall cloud pictures have come into us as well. It is ominous this morning out there.
This is out of Bear Lake. This was earlier this morning showing just some down branches. And this is just footage, I believe, from Byron Center, just showing how intense that lightning storm was as it was continuing to move through. And people are messaging me this morning that they have not seen lightning or thunder like this ever before. Also getting reports of lights out in the Grand Haven area. People were driving through the streets there. They said a lot of power outages there. Some of those traffic signals out. So again, just another warning, if you have to be out, try to stay home if you can. But if you do need to leave, take your time, because there's a lot of areas that don't have power, and that could, of course, affect traffic. So we do want to check in with Rob this morning. I think best case scenario, though, Rob, is just to stay home if you can.
Yeah, it's going to be slower just getting anywhere, and it's going to be more dangerous with strong downpours. There are many times I've driven through those things and then had to pull over the side of the road and just wait till the heaviest rain has fallen. That's what you're experiencing at the head of those, the front that's going through. We have not a crash on M46, but it's completely blocked by power lines down in between Ravenna Road and Moreland Road in Muskegon County, as it was Muskegon County that really took the brunt of all of this early. And we also have a crash that's blocking US 31 northbound north of Russell Road and around Riley-Thompson Road, right across from the southbound rest area. So you're going to have to exit at Russell Road. We also have seen reports here and there, of course, as we've said, of not only the power outages, which will cause traffic signals to be out, treat them as four-way stops. And that's not only in Muskegon County, but all around West Michigan now. And of course, any standing water is dangerous for you. You do not know just where erosion might have occurred on a road that even you know very well. So don't drive through standing water. And we also have reports of such things as a tree down on a vehicle in Zeeland on Cherry Avenue and that sort of thing. And of course, down power lines mean you really don't touch anything and call authorities as quickly as you can and stay away from anything that might be arcing and sparking. I'm Rob Westerby, Fox 17 Traffic.
Thanks, Rob. We continue to look at things as we keep this storm moving. As Rob was saying, to stay safe out on the roadways, we are seeing in Kent County, Wilson Avenue and Fenzi, flash flooding, 5 inches of water on the roadway by train spotters giving us that report. So this is what we're talking about with these heavy downpours, lightning show, hail, gusty winds. It's all coming together right at your morning commute. If you can wait on your morning commute, I would suggest to do so. Here's this kind of, I keep calling it the U shape, just to give you general layman's terms for this. This is just this U shape here of these showers and storms, and that's where we're going to get the brunt of these stronger winds, that hail embedded in these storms, and all of this lightning. Once this gets behind you, you're through the worst of it. But notice back behind it, you're still getting lightning. So you're still not totally out of the woods yet. So you still need to stay safe and stay indoors behind it. You probably heard this as a kid. When thunder roars, get indoors. It's the same setup here, even behind this main push. But these severe thunderstorm warned storms. This is the rough estimated timing of these. They're moving about 60 miles per hour. They're moving very fast. We're getting a gust front here right at the leading edge of this, about 60, 70 mile per hour winds. Now, you likely heard sirens going off in Kent County. I think they're still actively going off in Allegan County. We are not dealing with tornado warned storms. These are for very strong straight line winds in these severe thunderstorm warned storms. Again, the timing on this, about 7:38 Marshall, 7:56 Sturgis, as this is moving fast. It's moving about 60 miles per hour. So we'll continue to see this. It's taking more of a southward push. I want to take a closer look on who's going to see this next. South Haven, you folks are up next. Plainwell, you guys are going to see this within the next 20 minutes or so. Gobles, Kalamazoo, Richland, Delton, you are all going to see this within the next half hour as that main line, that main push is seeing those 60 to 70 mile per wind gusts. So this main front line, when that comes through, that's when we're going to get that wall cloud, that front gust of wind there, and then continue for probably a half hour, 40 minutes of those heavy downpours, lightning, and potential hail embedded in this as well. Again, we're getting reports of flash flooding in Kent County, multiple construction signs thrown all over roads, trees down, power lines down, as these are aggressive, strong, straight line winds. If we take a look at the hail, anything you see gray and blue on the map, which there's plenty of, we've been seeing some of that pea-sized hail, so that is still a potential even embedded in this as well. That is everywhere where we're getting that hail moving throughout this system. So I'm going to break down where these severe warned storms are and the timing of them. Anywhere you have that yellow or orange box, this is where you're in a severe warned storm. So we are going to see this continue in Allegan and Barry and Ionia until 8 a.m. You folks in Greenville in Montcalm counties till 7:30 as this continues to now move south and ever so slightly east. So again, Allegan, Barry, Ionia, you are until 8 a.m. on this. So you have another 45 minutes. It is moving fast, but it'll still take some time to work through your region. And here's, I want to do still pretty rough estimate timing on their South Haven 712. This is going to move through. Let's do a fresh one on this for where this is moving. Again, we're getting kind of a good southward push on this and just ever so slightly moving east. So this is rough estimated timing. This system's moving at about 60 miles per hour. So this is how it's going to continue to push out, reaching Sturgis about 8 a.m. And then behind this, that's where kind of like the worst is over. This is that main push behind this, but you're not totally out of the woods yet. National Weather Service is, again, wanting us to tell you guys it's behind this that you're still not out of the woods. You still can get that lightning and winds behind that main push, and you're still not over, but of course, much less aggressive than when you saw that main push come through. We can already see the back line of this as well. You see that out over the lake, so that's why the focus is this morning. You can see that back edge here working through Traverse City and Milwaukee, and we're in a severe thunderstorm watch until 9. So we have another 2 more hours to keep an eye on things with these severe warned storms. So we will continue to see this for really the rest of your morning commute. If you are in one of these severe warned storm areas and you have not left your house yet for your morning commute, I would suggest to not do so. 131 would not be fun to drive on right now, not safe to drive on either with these heavy downpours, lightning, hail, and strong winds. So need to seek shelter if you are in one of these warm storms. In Allegan County, you are likely hearing sirens go off. Allegan, Barry, Ionia County, you are in this warm storm until 8 a.m. That is the next 40 minutes. You are in this warm storm. They have since been canceled behind it for Kent County as this main push has gone through. So we are continuing to see these high winds, and they are causing parts of this damage. And we are going to continue to monitor this throughout the morning, of course, staying with you on this through the morning. Once we get past this for our morning hours, we are going to calm down the second half of the day. You can see a better situation behind this setup. So we will get a break once we get through the morning hours. Janice, Elliott.
Get to some of our other top stories this morning. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange returned to his home country of Australia after he was released from a UK prison on Monday. That departure came after he agreed to a plea deal with the U.S. Justice Department. That deal has him pleading guilty to a felony charge related to his alleged role in one of the largest breaches of classified material. In exchange, U.S. prosecutors will count the 5 years he spent in a London prison as time served, meaning no prison time here in the U.S. Everything still has to be approved by a federal judge.
Israel's Supreme Court ruling this morning that the military must start drafting ultra-Orthodox men for military service. Under a long-standing arrangement, ultra-Orthodox men had previously been exempt from the draft, which is compulsory for most Israeli men and women. Amid the war in Gaza, Israel's military has called up tens of thousands of soldiers, saying it needs all the manpower it can get. Over 600 soldiers have been killed thus far.
Federal judges in Kansas and Missouri have temporarily blocked most of President Biden's student debt relief plan. where it seeks to cancel and lower payments for millions of borrowers. That ruling also prevents the Department of Education from easing loan repayment burdens, which was set to begin on July 1st. Both rulings are preliminary and are set in place until the end of the separate trials.
This is a Fox 17 severe weather alert.
Of course, the big story this morning is this storm system moving quickly through our area. This is another look at power outages really popping up all over the area. Consumers Energy now reporting more than 90,000 customers impacted. That number continues to grow as we move through this hour. Storms moving southeast now, and we do expect to get more storm outages, power outages rather, in the next coming minutes.
Yeah, that number doubled in the last hour, I feel, and we know that number is going to continue to go up, Candace, because the straight line winds, the possibility of 70 miles per hour, that can do a lot of damage.
Yes, it absolutely can. And you can see the diagonal push of those power outages really following right along where this storm has continued to cut through. It's quite a lightning show, high wind gust, heavy downpours, all coming right together at your morning commute. So if you have been in or you are currently in one of these severe warned thunderstorms, I would suggest taking shelter and do not leave on your morning commute. Allegan, Berry, Ione counties, you have this until 8 a.m. Kent, Muskegon, Newaygo, everyone else has had this been cleared, because once we get this main push through, the worst of it is through your neighborhood. That's going to give us the most damage in this setup. Doesn't mean you're totally out of the woods. You can still get lightning and wind behind this, not as strong, but still can get lightning and wind behind this. So you still need to stay weather aware. Remember, when thunder roars, get indoors, and you need to pay attention to that throughout the entire morning. And even if you are in Allegan County, you're likely hearing sirens go off. It is not for a tornado. We do not have tornado warned storms. These are for these very high, strong straight line winds on these severe thunderstorm warned storms. If we give a rough estimated timing on this, the system is moving very fast. That's why we're seeing those power outages tick up so quickly, as this is moving at about 60 miles per hour. As this leading edge here, you can see it more when I turn off the warning boxes and the lightning. This is giving us that 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts right at the leading edge of this. We've been getting pictures of, you'll notice, quite a wall cloud, just the whole system moving as a whole, pushing right towards your region. So this is rough estimating timing, as this will continue to move south and just giving an ever so slightly east push. This also has heavy downpours in it. We're talking 2 to 4 inch rainfall rates an hour. We have had reports come in of 5 inches of standing water out on roadways, construction signs blown everywhere, of course, power lines down, trees down, all due to this high, heavy wind. So let's take a closer look on where this is headed next. If you have not left for your morning commute yet, and you are in Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, South Haven, Hartford, Paw Paw, I would stay put. Stay put, seek shelter, as this is going to be very quick moving. It'll move through your area likely within a half hour, 40 minutes, and it's just dangerous driving conditions to work through. We are seeing some hail as well. Anywhere you get that gray and blue coloring there on radar, we've been getting pea-size hail. We're even seeing some pea-size hail reports come in from Otsego, as sirens are starting to be heard in Plainwell and Otsego for this high wind threat. Again, they are not tornado warned storms. It is this high wind threat, and just in general, it will be a breezy day. We're under this severe thunderstorm watch until 9 a.m. More of you are being added to those severe thunderstorm warnings, and we're going to continue to keep an eye on these warnings throughout the rest of this morning as the system keeps moving south and ever so slightly east. So now we'll bring in Rob to take a check on the roads.
A couple of locations here and there that are real problematic, but you see a lot of people are still on the roads despite advisories to really just to stay off the roads and moving along at slower speeds as you might expect. In Kent County, the speeds are very typically at about 60 or 10 miles an hour slower than the speed limit itself. We've got those local problems. You've got in Muskegon County, M46, all lanes are blocked by power lines that are down in between Ravenna Road and Moreland Road on M46. 6. Still have northbound 31 completely closed north of Russell Road. That's where you're going to have to exit and use that as your detour going up to White Lake Drive or up to the other one that is in the Montague area. That is a crash that's been blocking the northbound lanes. And, of course, you've got the power outages that are going to affect everybody. Whether you're driving on a freeway, well, of course, power outages don't necessarily affect freeways, but you've got traffic signals that are going to be out locally, and then local flooding. We've got areas that are flooded up to 5 inches or more of water standing in the roadway, and you might think, well, that's nothing, we'll just go through that. You always have erosion that you don't see underneath the water, and of course the water may be deeper than you anticipate. It's just smart not to drive through it at all. The southern tier along 94 has been really quiet when it comes to this because storms are just moving down into those areas, and Candace will keep you updated on that. I'm Rob Westerby, Fox 17 Traffic.
All right, thanks, Rob. We're continuing to monitor this throughout the morning. There's that cluster of thunderstorms we've been keeping an eye on as we get closer. Again, it is quite a lightning show. It's the high wind threat that we are seeing as this continues to move now into Allegan and Hastings. Behind this, you're not totally out of the woods. You're still going to feel some wind and some lightning, of course, then you're left with the damage behind it. But it's this main push. As we turn off those severe thunderstorm warned boxes and lightning, you can see this a little better. It's moving about 60 miles per hour, so it's moving very fast. It'll be in your neighborhood maybe for a half hour, 40 minutes. There's fresh, rough estimated timing as it continues to move towards Three Rivers, about 7:52, Sturgis, 8:03 as this keeps moving in that southward trend. It's still giving us about 2 to 3 inch rainfall rates per hour. The winds right at the leading edge of this look to be quieting down a bit. I wouldn't say to let your guard down, but they look to be quieting down a bit. But we really have quite the high wind threat off of this as it just now is starting to move into South Haven, Kalamazoo, and Battle Creek. So if you are in a warned storm area, I'm going to pull those up. You folks need to take shelter and stay put. I would not leave on your morning commute yet. Parts of Allegan, Berry, and Ionia County until 8 a.m. We have just had Calhoun and Kalamazoo counties added to these severe thunderstorm warnings. That warning continues until 8:15. So again, 8 a.m. for Allegan, Berry, Ionia, Kalamazoo, and Calhoun until 8:15. So if you have not left yet, here's your rough estimated timing. If you can stay safe and seek shelter, I definitely would advise you do so. This is going to be knocking on your doorstep if you live in South Haven, Kalamazoo, Paw Paw, Hartford, Battle Creek. It's all going to start to work in, and it's quite a wall cloud that you'll see just really march on down through your region. But National Weather Service is suspecting what I'm suspecting too, that winds are starting to slowly die down as this system was due to weaken as it's going south and east. It's just doing so very slowly. Overall for the day, it will be a breezy day with these winds. As you can even see, just in general, we have a strong breeze this morning. We'll hold on to that through the rest of the day as well. This severe thunderstorm watch in the pink for everyone continues until 9. Again, we saw those severe thunderstorm warned storms until 8 and 8:15. You want to seek shelter if you are in Kalamazoo, Calhoun, parts of Berry, Allegan, and Ionia counties if you're getting that strong gust front of wind and storm to push through. We are in the slight to marginal risk for these severe storms this morning. But as we take a look at future track briefly, as we get into the end of your morning hours, after your morning commute, things are going to start to clear up. Can we get pop-up showers later on? Confidence is very low since activity has been very high this morning, but we'll still keep an eye on things. But overall, the rest of the day should be fairly dry. Temperatures in the 80s and breezy. So Janice and Elliot, I know we have a lot of damage left behind now throughout the morning.
From the station with the most local news, Fox 17 News starts now with a severe weather alert.
Exactly right. Candace, thank you. We're getting so many pictures and videos from viewers. Thank you so much for sending those in. If you're able to safely take any and send them to us, we would appreciate it as we cover the storm. We know it looks different depending on where you are in West Michigan, but take a look right now. This is some of the lightning that we saw in Grand Haven. Really the lightning show out there this morning.
Yeah, I was talking with different viewers in Grand Haven, Muskegon. They said this is a lightning show that they've never experienced before. So this was about an hour ago out of Bear Lake. We had reports of down branches, trampolines that were anchored down, blowing away. There's a camp nearby that they have lost all power, down power lines in that area. So again, such a quick moving storm. And we are getting so many different reports and photos coming in from viewers. So continue to send those to us if you can, because it really depends on where you are, what you're seeing this morning.
Yeah, I mean, we heard the rain here, Candace. We've been hearing the thunder, but to hear the sirens going off in Kent County, I'm sure a lot of people were alarmed to wake up to that.
Yeah, that can get you on edge first thing in the morning, and I don't blame you. And of course, you hear sirens, you think tornado, and rightfully so. But these have not been tornado-warned storms. These are still severe thunderstorm-warned storms. It's just very high, strong, straight-line winds, a very dangerous wind situation still that warranted these sirens to go off. And it's hard when it's early in the morning like this. I know plenty of you are probably up. Maybe some people aren't. So it's trying to get your attention to really take action and take shelter if you are in the area of one of these warned storms. So we have Allegan, Berry, Ione counties until 8:15 is view travel continuing to Calhoun and Kalamazoo counties. This is moving quickly. It's giving you those heavy rainfall rates, some pea-sized hail we've been seeing in this, and quite a lightning show we've been talking about throughout the morning. This is rough estimated timing for you. This will really start to work out of our viewing area 8:15 getting to South Bend. So between now, the next half hour, 45 minutes, this will keep working southward and then push out of our area. Once you start to see it, we will have it in your neighborhood for about a half hour, 40 minutes. It's moving at about 60 miles per hour, so it's very strong. It's at the leading edge of this. They are going to get those stronger winds, which are slowly but surely starting to die down, but that is still where you'll get this strength. If after you get that main push, you're thinking, oh, let's go outside and check it out, you're not out of the woods yet. Behind this, you can still get winds and plenty of lightning, still a bit of a dangerous setup. So you really want this to clear throughout the morning before you go out and about. If you can delay your morning commute, especially if you're around I-94 right now, I definitely would do so. Just an overall breezy day as we look forward through the rest of the day. Severe thunderstorm watch ending at 9. These severe thunderstorm warnings ending at 8 or 8:15 for many of you. It's been in that slight to marginal risk for these severe storms, the brunt of it being this morning. I want to move this forward for you on future track as we continue along for the morning. As we're seeing, the back edge of this will keep moving out of here by the end of the morning. The rest of the day should be fairly dry. Can we see a pop-up shower or storm in the afternoon and evening? Yes, the potential is there, but confidence is low as these storms this morning have really depleted the atmosphere. So we'll be breezy, temperatures in the 80s and mainly dry, but the focus this morning, of course, on those severe warned storms. Janice, Elliott?
All right, Candace, thank you. Well, joining us now from Consumers Energy, we've got Katie Carey. Katie, I can only imagine it's a very busy morning for you because this is such a fast-moving storm, and it feels like Janice was just saying the power outages almost doubled in the last hour.
Yes, that's exactly right. We started the morning with about 25,000 customers without power, and that quickly jumped up to just over 100,000 customers without power, mostly in that Muskegon, Kent County, Lakeshore area.
Katie, we've been hearing about these winds, these powerful winds out there this morning, up to 70 miles per hour. I'm assuming that's doing the most damage, but just speak to what your crews are seeing right now.
Yeah, so the good news is we knew the storm was coming and we prepared for it. We got crews placed on the lakeshore so that they would be ready to go out once the weather kind of left our service territory. And that's exactly what we're doing. But we are seeing those reports of high winds, which will do a ton of damage to our system, whether it's through poles or down wires. We're seeing hundreds of down wires down across Muskegon County and Kent County right now. So we are asking folks, if you see a down wire, please stay 25 feet away, call 911. It's vitally important. The safety of the public is vitally important to us at this point.
And it's very widespread. We're taking a look at that outage map, but it did seem to really hit North Muskegon hardest at first. Is that what you guys are experiencing too?
Yeah, we knew the weather was going to come in off the lakeshore and hit the state right on the lakeshore. So that's kind of where we initially planned for the damage. And we knew it was going to be a fast moving system that was going to go across the state in about 5 hours. So we're kind of in a let the storm move through, and then we get out and we do damage assessment right away. And from there, we start with the largest customers. We start with critical customers, hospitals, nursing homes, police and fire, get those individuals restored in those organizations. And then we move to our largest circuits and try to get everybody restored. Our crews are out there, they're ready to go, and they work 16-hour shifts.
Wow.
Katie, I know it's a busy morning. The storms are still rolling through the area. Is it too early to talk about power restoration when a lot of these customers would see the power back on?
It is too early, just because we have to let the storm move through our entire service territory. We cover the entire lower peninsula except for Southeast Michigan. So we want to make sure we see exactly what's going to happen. Is it going to be as impactful in the Lansing region or Flint region? And from there, once we know exactly what the lay of the land is through our damage assessment, we will get crews out. We are prepared. We have crews ready to go.
All right, Katie Carey with Consumers. We certainly appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And we know at those power outages, you might be seeing some intersections with the traffic signals out. I'm sure a lot of drivers might be running into that this morning. So Rob has a check the traffic. A lot of drivers still out there, Rob, despite the severe weather.
Yeah, plenty of people will just, head out and just say, hey, I am a Michigander, and just go out and run in the rain. And they certainly would have to run to their vehicles before they get too wet. This is at 131 and 44th Street. Slightly less traffic than normal for this time of the morning. So that's an indication that some drivers are actually just staying home for the short term, because this will be calming down, as Candace has mentioned. And same thing when it comes to the conditions on the roads. Of course, they're completely water covered. And as you head south, that's even more. As the storm system heads south, you're going to be getting more of that. But as you have it calm down, you'll still have a possibility of coming across standing water and, of course, trees down that haven't been reported. At the moment, here's the situation. On the highways, slightly lower the speeds than normal, but as the rain tapers off, you're going to see normal speeds in general. You have M46 Apple Avenue completely closed between Ravenna and Moreland Road because of power lines down in that location. And of course, that would be a priority for consumers' energy to get and take care of that one. Northbound 31, north of Russell Road, a crash at around Riley Thompson has been blocking the northbound lanes most of the morning. And in all of the areas, as Janice mentioned, you're going to have power outages with more than 100,000 consumers' energy customers now without power. And that includes the municipalities with traffic signals. Treat every signal that you see there as a four-way stop, and you are going to be getting to work late today. I'm Rob Westby, Fox 17 Traffic.
All right, West Michigan, we continue to monitor these cluster of thunderstorms giving us all this damage this morning. And you can see this, the back edge of it already starting to work on our shores. This will continue to move southward. So a lot of that lightning show that's out over the lake, that is kind of going to just skirt by us and just hit our far southwest communities. But let's take a closer look, as we still do have these severe warned thunderstorms. In Kent and Allegan County, you have likely heard sirens go off this morning. We have not had a tornado warning storm, just very strong straight line winds on these severe thunderstorm warnings. Early, it's dark. National Weather Service wanted to get your attention, really had to set those sirens off, so we got to a safe spot. And you still need to do that if you are in Kalamazoo, Battle Creek. This is knocking on your doorstep. This is still moving about 60 miles per hour. Its leading edge here has that gust front, that main push of strong winds causing all this damage. It's been upwards of 60, 70 mile per hour winds. It's slowly starting to weaken, but keyword slowly. So this does not mean you are out of the woods by any means. When we turn off those warning boxes and lightning, this gives you some rough estimated timing. It's on its way out. Our thunderstorm warnings are till 8 o'clock and 8:15. 8:15 for you folks in Kalamazoo and Calhoun counties. So you have another 20 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes. This is going to move through your neighborhood within a half hour and 40 minutes. It's moving very fast, but giving you heavy downpours as well. We've seen 2 to 3 inch rainfall rates an hour, hail embedded in this. So a dangerous situation. You want to delay your morning commute if you can. It's this main push, this kind of U shape here that's been giving us those stronger winds for the morning. And that's really what is giving us all that damage for the morning as well. Behind this, you're probably thinking, I'm out of the woods, I'm good to go. You're still going to see rain, still going to see lightning and wind, just not nearly as strong as that main push. The back edge, though, starting to work towards Ludington. So this is how fast it came in and quickly it will exit throughout the end of your morning. Overall, just a breezy day for us. The severe thunderstorm watch will end at 9. Those severe thunderstorm warned storms where you should be seeking shelter right now. Parts of Kalamazoo, Calhoun County until 8:15. So about another half hour to 40 minutes for these storms as we have been in this slight to marginal risk throughout the morning. Let's take a look at this on Future Track. You're wondering, how's the rest of the day going to go? Maybe we're starting to get through this. And that last push that's going through the I-94 corridor right now, this will continue to move out within the next hour. That severe thunderstorm watch will end at 9. We are then really going to continue to dry out for the rest of the morning and stay fairly quiet the rest of the day. Is there a chance for afternoon and evening pop-up showers and storms? Yes. The confidence is very low, though, for them to develop. The atmosphere is pretty depleted after these storms went through this morning, but it's still something our team will monitor for the rest of the day. Lake Michigan's going to stay angry all day long. 5 to 7, 3 to 5 foot waves as temperatures. You can tell where that storm has gone through, dipping back to the 60s and the 70s. We're going to push into the 80s, though, once we rebound and get this system behind us. So one last time, I want to look at the severe warned storms yet again on satellite and radar. We're continuing to see this as you can have these warned storms for parts of Allegan and Berry County till 8, Kalamazoo and Calhoun counties until 8:15 as that main push continues to work through. Again, it's that main line that you are going to see those higher wind gusts right at the front leading edge of this. So this is where you need to take shelter and stay safe. Delay your morning commute as this moves south and west, and this will continue to do so. So here's those rough estimated times as it continues for the rest of our morning, roughly reaching Sturgis by 8:05. It's moving through rather quickly at about 60 miles per hour, but those strong winds at the front edge of it giving us our damage. Elliot, Janice.
All right, Candace. Again, we want to give you another look at power outages as we just spoke with Consumers Energy this morning. We are seeing over 100,000 outages at this point across West Michigan. That has more than doubled in the last hour alone as this system continues to move southeast, and we're getting another kind of round of storms about to hit South Haven in the Plainwell area that Candace has been telling us about. So again, let us know what you're dealing with. Of course, you can head to our website, fox17online.com, or send us an email too. But we do have a lot of pictures coming in and videos. This one's coming in from Grand Haven, just kind of showing that light show that we saw earlier this morning. And we've been hearing, some people said they've never experienced lightning like this before.
Yeah, also, of course, heavy rain, very powerful winds out there, up to 70 miles per hour. This is a tree that was down at Fuller and the Beltline in Grand Rapids. Looks like some sparking there in the tree. Again, power outages this morning reported more than 100,000 at this point in time. And this is another video from Grand Rapids, this showing the trees and branches down near Fuller and Leonard. So a lot of people, again, heard the sirens out there this morning. There was no threat of a tornado, but just very powerful winds up to 70 miles per hour. So that is why they sounded, if you were worried. A lot of people headed to the basement this morning, waking up to that. So scary situation for a lot of people.
Very widespread. I mean, we are seeing it from north of Muskegon, all the way through Grand Rapids, southeast of us. We'll, of course, continue to keep you updated. We'll have more storm coverage with Candace and another check of traffic with Rob coming up after the break.